Wow, what a sway tryhard. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed the intro when I was a sweat smacking up in Black Ops 4 Nuketown Dom. Anyways, what's up, guys? My name is Motivus back with a video today. Today is more of a personal video on my growth and stages in my life and being a kid addicted to Call of Duty to rarely playing games anymore and becoming an engineer with a net worth of 225K. Many of my viewers will be skeptical and confused how net worth is related to Call of Duty. I know it's really weird, but anyway, back in the day, I am an Asian kid in his teens who used to be a sweaty spawn trapping tryhard in Call of Duty. One trend I realized about myself is I'm a guy who grinds for stats, and numbers mean everything to me. Well, let's get right to the story. Let's start off from the beginning. I have started Call of Duty back at World at War. I was introduced to World at War zombies by my cousins, and high key was really scared of playing the game because the map Nocturne Toten, really scary map. It's just eerie and scary. I don't know what about it, but it was scary. But it was fun. It gave me the drive to fight hordes of zombies to hit the highest rounds possible. And this made me beg for my parents to buy me an Xbox 360. And I started watching YouTube, watching but the best strategies, best camp spots to fight off these zombies. Because I was watching these different strategies, I believe having more players would make it easier to survive the rounds. So I decided to get an Xbox Live. At first, I wasn't really thinking of multiplayer, but I eventually hopped on to Team Deathmatch, and oh my god, I was terrible at the game. Everyone was destroying me. Everyone has MP40s. It was a crazy time. But I camped hard like every noob, and to get the recon plane, artillery strike, and dogs. I was trash. However, I didn't take multiplayer that seriously. Then fast forward to Modern Warfare 2 came coming along, and I watched many YouTubers getting tactical nukes. I was watching XJaws, CNanners, Next Gen Tactics, Chris Smooth, T Martin, and many more YouTubers. That was for me considered the golden age of Call of Duty. However, what I did is I kept camping in Modern Warfare 2 because of so many things that are going on in Modern Warfare 2. Everyone knows that the broken one man army YouTubes, yeah, that was kind of crazy. Because of the high streaks, you'll get more kills, and the nuke would also end the game. And I don't want to pass up on that because this will basically have my gamer tag on in the lobby. So I like every typical guy using Harrier, chop gun, or nuke, and yeah, I got a couple nukes. Looks good, but however, I'm still trash the game. But I started taking the game more seriously. I want to be as cool as these YouTubers, but I am still not that great at the game. Now going to Black Ops One, this is where I started actually getting good at the game. I started watching videos like from crazy top players like the Marker J, Dying Soldier, Z Jars, the Man in Black, the Goat, XSMF the Goat. Well, they were getting some crazy scores, like 100 plus kills. Their score per minute looks insane. And I was like, this is my equivalent of getting the nuke. And I want to prove myself that I can get 100 kills. Well, I did get 100 kills a couple times, but I wasn't like consistent like them. Still, those players have my fullest respects and how good these players are. Forever be known to me. Then later, there's some crazy YouTube videos, but this is back like in like when Evil X was a thing, and they hit the 501 and 8 in Havana, which is absolutely insane. Y'all probably know Soundwave, Birdman, Enviness. So somehow I rolled into that community and I started trapping myself with other people, which is really fun. Definitely one of the best days, like when I was in high school. So I was aiming for like 10 KD ratios, 100 win losses. It was a crazy time. I was really obsessed with the going for stats during that time. So like people were having like 10, 15, 20 KDs, and like I just want to be having that. Oh my god, I want to have that 10 KD as well. So I started adding adding having people add me and just makes me feel like I'm important and known to the community. Well, before you call me trash, that I'm a spawn trapper. I did play some eights. I did play GBs. So before you guys call me trash, please. That this is back in the day. Spawn trapping was fun. So whatever. Okay, now I know I'm getting a bit sidetracked here, but being a sweat by many of you is like, how the fuck does it relate to net worth? Well, it's not the skills I'm like really like trying to aim for in this game. I think it's a mindset and discipline. I'm obsessed with like improvement in Call of Duty. I analyzed multiple times on myself and others on how I could get better both strategically and mechanically. This can be applied to studying and learning skills to build value for yourself. That way you get more. You could rack up cash that way. This um this could be learning like I don't know, maybe building a new thumbnail or learn how to code or even get into sales. It can be anything that could help you improve yourself. Next, I like learn to optimize. In game, I learned what's the best class setup, the best routes, best positioning, best strategy. This can all be applied to investing into a low cost index funds or stocks. But I don't know, I'm more of an ETF kind of guy. But yeah, this just yeah, I just feel like the stocks are like a lot more volatile, and I feel like it'll be more risky play. But you live, you learn, just like how you do Call of Duty. So, and for like investing, I learned to understand the game. I learned I learned the spawns and team positioning, decisions, reasoning, reaction. This can be applied to the overall stock market and the basics that taught me to be disciplined. And lastly, I learned to track. Back in Call of Duty, like I said, I was very obsessed with my kill death ratio, win loss, score per minute, which helped me track my spendings and setting aside 15 to 20% of my income and investing into VU and in my savings account. So when I started fresh off college, it was a grind to get you 100K. Um, I started doing like side gigs. I used to do Instacart and deliver groceries. I still have my 9 to 5 job. A lot of people shit on the 9 to 5, but trust me, I still hate it as well. But it gives value like stability. Living at home, my parent like I don't want you to deal with that financial stress of paying like an apartment. It's very expensive nowadays. So right now I'm just living at home, investing and starting early with dividends and living with with this all this restraint comes with many sacrifices. Like I still want to buy new clothes, but I just gotta figure out what I could do instead of just overspending on things, getting a new car, living eating out, and saying no to some events. I don't know, FOMOing is hard. I get it, but sometimes the FOMO would hit. But sometimes the FOMOing could be related to the stock market. Do not FOMO into the stock market because if you FOMO in, you will definitely lose in the long term. That's why I consider me as a index fund investor. I'm not saying miss all the events and like cut off everything out of your life that you wanted to do, but just make sure to just have some limits for yourself. So all my contributions after 100K compounded over time for like 4 or 5 years and hit 225K. I'll continue to dollar cost average by buying the S&P 500 until I reach financial stability for myself and my future self. I'm not saying be crazy rich as possible, but having money will buy you freedom and not be dictated by your 9 to 5 job. This doesn't sound ideal, but it really got to me where I am at today. I'm not trying to come off as someone who's like bragging and thinking I'm like better than anyone. I just want to share how my gaming mindset has taught me to become disciplined and shaping my financial future. Well, I know this is like This is my first commentary. It's been a while, and I'm still trying to improve. So I hope you guys bear with me. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.